right, so we have so we're going to read the data, and this comes from what is the data that we're going to use? I think West Roxbury CSV. I think it's here, download data files. So that's the data set. The zip file, you should have downloaded it and unzipped. Okay, and I have that here, data files. Okay, so we're going to be using West Roxbury CSV file. Okay, so that's the one we're going to be using. Okay, and create a code chunk. Okay, and we're going to use read.csv. Okay, now when you type the code, you'll see there will be a message here that will tell you where that particular code is coming from. Okay. The read.csv is a code that comes from base R. Base R has a bunch of utilities, so that's where it is coming from. So it's part of base R. And as we see, there are some packages, and some of the packages have their own read CSV code. Okay. You will see that there is a read_CSV code that comes with the tidyverse. We will look at it later, and that has some special, it's fast, and there are some special features available. But what we will use as of now is read.csv, and as you type, it also gives you some help information. Okay, says okay, so this is, you give the file name, okay, or path. With the path, you need to specify the path as well, and then it tells you, and then the different parameters, okay, and then it will give you the default value. Okay, the default here is header equal to true. So you don't have to say, if you already have header, meaning the names of columns, column names. So the first row is going to assume that it is column names, right? So if it is not column names, then you have to say header equal to false. You don't have to say header equal to true, because that's the default. Okay, and then for CSV files, CSV by itself means comma separated values. So the separator is comma, and then you have other things that you don't have to worry about all of that, and common character. So we will look at those a little bit later. Okay, so now we need to specify. All we have to do is to specify, and one more thing. Now, if you want to go deeper into the command and understand what it means, then you can go to the console, then start with a question mark, and then, right? So this will work for any code. Okay, if you do this and press enter, then you will see help information here. So it's going to give you a whole bunch of information that you can try to understand what the code is. Okay, so when in doubt, you do that and you try to understand the code. Okay, so now we have to give a path name and then the name of the file. Okay, so to know what the path is, you need to know where you are right now. Okay, then only you can figure out what the path is. And the way to do that is, I showed you last time, I think. So if you go here and then say get WD, that's your working directory. So it will tell you where you are right now. Okay, Now you can do that from here, okay, or from the console, okay. Now look at the difference. So you have to be careful, because if you do the same code in the console, get WD, it tells you the current folder that R is using as the root. So which is C users, so my ID and the documents. That's where it will be looking from here, from the console, okay. But that's not our root folder here, because here is going to use the file where the file is from, okay, this RMD file. This RMD file is from here, okay. So you have to be careful about that. So for me, okay, in your computer, okay, wherever you open the RMD file from, that's where you will be. So your code is going to be different than mine, okay. So here is, okay, this is where, okay, so now compare that, so with that, okay. Well, let me go further out, and okay, so that's not where I am. So I'm here. This is where I started out with RMD files, okay. So now you see that and that, okay. So now I know that this is where my RMD file is. This is the folder, right? Now, do I have the data file there? No. Okay, so data file, oh. So to access the data file, okay, what I need to do is to go out 2 times, 3 times. So I have to do 1, 2, 3. So that will take me out to public, right? And then the file is 4270. So I need to give 4270. Yours is not going to be this complicated, I hope not. 4270 notes, okay, and then the data files. So I can go here and copy that part. Well, depending upon, so if you are in Windows, then both backslash and forward slash will work. But if you use backward slash, you have to do an escape character. Okay. Now, if you have your data file the same place as your RMD file, you don't have to mess with any of this. You just put the file name and it's going to work, right? So now I give the file name, right? West Roxbury CSV. Okay, so West Roxbury. Now, hopefully, I didn't make any mistake. Okay, and this is going to bring the. No, I did make a mistake, so let's see what it is. Unused argument. Oh, I'm I'm in the wrong place. I should do it here. Read CSV. I don't need the get WD anymore, so I'll delete that. Okay. All right. So error in file cannot open connection. So this means that there is some problem with the path. Okay. So I think I have this twice. I should say 40 to 70 nodes. I think that's what it is. Okay, show that. Okay. So you can access files from anywhere as long as you know how to get there using the proper path command. Okay.
So, like the backspaces like you did to go back, how do you know how many you're supposed to do? Like
You have to count. See, I was so my file was here, right? My RMD file. So this is where I opened the RMD file from. Okay. Now I have to go to public, and then 4270, and then 4270 nodes. So here I have to go 1, 2, 3. 3 times I have to back out to get to public. So that's why I have 3 here. Okay. So if I go 1 up, 1, 2, 3. So now I am in public. Okay. And then I have to go into 4270, and then 4270 nodes, and then data files. Okay.